And now, words of wisdom with Adam Carricker.
Birth control pills should be for men. It makes much more sense to unload a gun than to shoot at a bulletproof vest.
How right you are, and welcome to a Monday edition of Fourth and Pain, the only pro wrestling show to be hosted by an NFL player and a weight loss champion. He is Redskins defensive end Adam Carricker.
Howdy.
I am former pro wrestling announcer turned weight loss champion Chuck Carroll, and this extravaganza is Fourth and Pain. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. That's nice. At Fourth and Pain, like us on Facebook, and set your watch. Have lunch with us every weekday at noon on fourthandpain.com. Brand new material. We're cheaper than McDonald's, more healthy than Wendy's, and we're damn sure going to entertain you. This is Fourth and Pain. Lots to talk about, Adam. Lots to talk about. Your teammates back at Redskins Park today following a bye week, refreshed, relaxed, have been handed a present by the suddenly struggling New York Giants. And I told you last week, not a good second half of the season football team. NFC East wide open. We're going to dive into that. We're also going to be talking some WWE Survivor Series coming up this weekend on pay-per-view. Love saying that. Always makes me feel professional. Call your local cable operator. Coming up on pay-per-view, but we're going to talk about wrestlers that need to be taken off of television, then come back repackaged as a brand new character. Guys that could just use a little bit of a reboot. Control-Alt-Delete in the squared circle. But Adam, before we get to any of that, let's start in the NFL. You guys coming off of the bye week. The Giants now 6-4. They go into Cincinnati and they get shellacked. Did not look like a good football team this Sunday. You could say, heading into this weekend, it was absolutely the Giants' division to lose. And right now, they don't seem like they want to win it, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, you never know what can happen in the NFL. And, like you said, the Skins, my teammates, my boys have had a week off. They're refreshed. They're coming back. Systems have been rebooted, so to speak. You come this Sunday against the Eagles. The Eagles, I think they've lost, like 5 straight games. I'm pretty sure first time in Andy Reid's career, so they're struggling as well. And we can get back on the right road, the road to winning. And it all starts this Sunday, and the Giants have a bye, so we can make up a little bit of ground. And if they continue their losing ways, we get on a little bit of roll. You never know what can happen.
Well, let's lay this out. I mean, again, the Giants not looking good right now. Michael Vick, the Philadelphia Eagles, they continue to reel. Michael Vick actually gets the concussion. So enter the Foles era up in Philadelphia. And then Dallas is unpredictable, but I'll tell you this much, that Thanksgiving Day game now could have a whole lot more significance in terms of how the NFC East is going to shake down.
Absolutely. I mean, the Eagles, they're 3-6. We're 3-6. We come out and get the win this week. We can pick up a game. The Giants are on the bye. Who knows what the Cowboys are going to do? And then we play them that following Thanksgiving. We can pick up another game, and deal the Cowboys a loss, pick up another game on the Giants. It's far from over, folks.
Right, and here's the thing. As pointed out in an article on CBSDC.com, plug, earlier this year, Mike Shanahan, your head coach, significantly better winning percentage when coming off of the bye week or the first week of the season. Basically, when he has extra time to prepare for a game, this guy is seemingly unstoppable. He's going to scout you. He's going to be prepared, and he's going to throw everything he possibly can at you. And that plays in his advantage. And that's going to play in Washington's advantage this weekend against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, absolutely. Plus, you couple that with the fact that everybody's going to be fresh on top of the Eagles. I mean, losing 5 straight, that's demoralizing. That's tough. They've lost a couple of nationally televised tough games to the Saints on the road and then to the Cowboys at home. Both games they probably felt like they could have and should have won, but in the end it just wasn't to be. So they're going to be a little demoralized. Skins are going to be fresh. You never know what can happen in this league. Never, ever, ever throw in the towel.
All right, well, even if the Eagles weren't backpedaling, their quarterback gets knocked out. Michael Vick, concussion. We don't know what his status is going to be for next week. Obviously, he has to go through the league protocols, pass all the tests. Question mark so far for next Sunday. So you've got this Foles kid under center. How difficult is it going to be for you guys to prepare for a quarterback that you don't know? There's not a whole lot of tape of. The only tape that you guys may have on him is this past weekend and what he did in the preseason. Does that present an extra challenge for you guys?
I mean, there's gonna be you can make that case, but the fact is the guy's a rookie. I watched a lot of that Eagles Cowboys game today. He came in and played pretty well. I give him credit for a young guy, a rookie replacing Michael Vick on the fly. He had a pick for 6. And then he was sacked in the end zone, which turned out to be a fumble recovery for a touchdown for the Cowboys. So he showed his inexperience and his youthfulness. So that's something hopefully we can capitalize on and we can use to our advantage. But he threw a couple of nice passes, a big touchdown bomb to Jeremy Maclin. So the kid's got some skills and some talent, but he's got that raw and experience as well. And we can use that to our advantage.
Well, and here's the question then. So you look past the Philadelphia Eagles just setting that up. Immediately then you have to start preparing for another division game. You've got the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. So we got a question on Twitter from our friend Crush Easy. Good guy, big supporter of the show. Give him a follow. KRUSHEASY on Twitter. Follow him. Send him our best. He writes in, how difficult will it be to play 2 games in 4 days? As a player, that's got to be pretty exhausting.
Well, first off, I love the name. It's easy to crush you. I just love that name, Crush Easy. Second of all, it's very tough. I'm not going to lie to you. My rookie year, we played on Sunday, and then we played the Steelers that Thursday night. And Monday, you really don't feel very good. Tuesday, you don't feel very good. Wednesday, you get the body moving, but you still don't feel good. It's not until Thursday you start to feel somewhat normal and like you've recovered a little bit from that previous week's game. Well, what's going to be different about that week is all of a sudden you have to go out and play. I remember being sore. I remember being tired. It was a night game, so I slept all day and then went and played. And so it's not easy, but being a national televised game, being against the Cowboys, being the Thanksgiving Day game, guys will get up for it and guys will be ready to go. But to say that it's physically easy, that would be completely inaccurate.
Help, though, coming off the bye, you guys may be a little bit fresher. Maybe this is going to be an easier, and I put that in quotation marks, an easier task, having days off?
I would say so, rather than, I think that'll be our 12th game, and, our bye isn't until after that Thursday game. So that would be a little bit of an advantage that the guys will have. They will have played a game, but they won't have played 10, 11, 12 games in a row. So that'll definitely help them out.
Well, stay tuned. I mean, the NFC East is going to be a very exciting finish to this division. And I threw this out on Twitter at the Chuck Carroll. Pleased to be giving me a follow. Shameless plug. I threw this out there. I was fielding questions. I had some extra time Saturday, and I told people, I said, I am cautiously optimistic about the finish to the season for Washington. I genuinely believe, you're going to be getting Garcon back, hopefully. You're going to be getting Brandon Merriweather in that secondary. Maybe that'll help shore things up. So you're going to be getting a couple of cogs back. And the guys that, just had a couple of nagging injuries, they've had a time now to come back, rest, relax, maybe heal up a little bit. And so this is going to be a completely different club coming off of the bye. And again, Shanahan has that extra time to prepare. And you know me, I'm always an optimist. Doing the show with you, I want the team to succeed. I want them to do well. Well, selfishly, it, rises our numbers
it helps
anyway.
The show. You're optimistic prime. I'll give you that.
I like that.
Yeah,
optimistic
I just made that
prime.
up right off the top of my head.
So, again, like we said, not out of the realm of possibility. Anything can happen. And it was just a couple of years ago out in the NFC West, team with a losing record actually wound up winning the division and going into the postseason. So, and I'm not saying that that's going to happen in the NFC East this year, but anything can happen. So don't dismiss the team just yet.
Well, absolutely. They're the 7-9 team when the Seahawks won, and they actually won a playoff game. They beat the defending Super Bowl champs, the Saints, that year. I've seen an 8-8 team get in. I've seen 9-7. That was the Cardinals when they went to the Super Bowl, played the Steelers. The Giants were 9-7 last year. We get this win against the Eagles. The Giants keep struggling. And the other thing is 5 of our last 7 games against division opponents. So every time we win, somebody else is losing. So that's a big jump. And then that's how you really create get rid of that distance in the standings, if I could think of the words I want to say. and that's how you get to the top of the standings. People are talking about, oh, the season's over. Oh, evaluate young. No. It's way too soon for that. Way too soon for that. This season is far from over.
Well, again, we'll see what happens. And if you ever have a question for us, be sure to tweet us at 4th and Pain, guaranteed to get an answer, as long as it's not a stupid question. I have done the block button. Some people,
Have you? What was the question? Do you remember?
I'm not going to say it's not fit for air.
Oh,
it's not fit
okay.
for air. But
All
some
right. Keep
people,
it clean, folks.
that
Keep it clean.
anonymity in cyberspace, they just get a little mouthy.
PG-13 at least.
All right, so let's broaden the spectrum a little bit. Let's go on the Fourth and Payne final drive. Give you the scores from around the league. You tell me, Adam, what stood out from you this week. Now we've got the Raiders. They come east to Baltimore, get absolutely lambasted. Final score there: Oakland 20, Baltimore 55.
I got to give a shout out. Sam Cook, who I played with in Nebraska, who's been the punter forever up in Baltimore. Fake field goal, ran it in for a touchdown. Big props to my boy Sam.
Sam Cook getting it done. Peyton Manning, the Denver Broncos, they come east, annihilate Cam Newton and the Panthers 36-14. New York Giants, as we said, 13, Cincinnati 31. Tennessee Titans, who and where did you come from? 37. Miami Dolphins 3. And that's the home Miami Dolphins. This is a game you missed. Detroit Lions 24, Minnesota Vikings 34.
Pointing that out.
Buffalo Bills 31.
Jerk Prime.
I'm sorry. The Buffalo Bills fall to the New England Patriots. The Atlanta Falcons no longer undefeated. Falcons 27, Saints 31. Chargers come east. Almost get it done in Tampa. Not so much. 24-34 the final there. New York Jets continue to have a go of it. Jets 7, Seattle Seahawks 28, Dallas Cowboys, we already touched on this, 38, Eagles 23, and then the Rams, St. Louis Rams, San Francisco 49ers 24 all. How disheartening is it to finish a game in a tie?
I've never actually experienced this, and apparently we do have ties in the NFL, Donovan. We watched this game. It was a great game, highly competitive. One very good team. And, it was two very good teams. I'll give them credit. And to be honest with you, I miss field goals. The guy makes a 53-yard field goal. There's a delay of game. He misses the 58-yard field goal. Both teams had a chance to win it. Both teams basically essentially cost themselves the game by missed field goals and penalties. It was a well-played football game and honestly fun to watch.
Well, this is another game where your starting quarterback goes out with a concussion. Alex Smith gets his bell rung. Colin Kaepernick comes in, and he plays really well, rallies the 49ers back, gets that score to force overtime. Couldn't get it done in the extra period, 24 all your final there. But if you're Coach Harbaugh out there in San Francisco, you got to be liking what this Kaepernick kid showed you.
He's the West Coast Tim Tebow. That's all he is. The West Coast version of Tim Tebow.
Whoa.
All he does is win no matter what.
Okay, there you go. I'm with you now. So what stood out to you?
Actually, he tied. That doesn't even make any sense.
They tied. It's
all he does is tie. It ain't no lie.
And
I'm tired,
it's
folks.
Okay.
My newborn's keeping me up all night.
It's okay if you
Killing
never
me,
listen
Smalls.
to the show again. But okay, what else stood out to you today? Is there anything that really kind of surprised you?
People kind of threw in the towel on the Ravens. Ray Lewis list. They go out and they score 55 points. You got the Broncos. People were making fun of SI for putting them in the Super Bowl. They look pretty good. The Giants are struggling. I don't know where the Titans came from. They literally came out of nowhere. Disappointed in the Lions. I thought they were going to continue their role. Instead, the Vikings stopped their losing streak, which I did not appreciate. The Saints have shown they've won 4 in a row. After starting 0-5, they've won 4 in a row, and they're 4-5, and they're going to make that playoff push.
Now, here's my question to you. Everybody kind of dismissed the Washington's win over the Saints early in the season when New Orleans was having that trouble. Now that they're getting on a roll and they're proving, yes, we are still the New Orleans Saints, does that really kind of, I guess, give more prevalence, more credence to that win in week 1?
Well, the other thing is I'm looking at your scores there. You got the Bucks. The Bucks have won like 4 out of 5. They got the hamster, gerbil,
muscle hamster,
whatever he's called. Hates his nickname anyways. I mean, those are 2 teams that we beat on the road. The Redskins are capable, folks. The Redskins are capable. Hold on to that towel. Don't throw it anywhere.
All right. Well,
and the Jets are really bad.
I'm telling you. And you know why, and it's something that we've been talking about a lot this year. It's because Tim Tebow does not belong in New York. It brings the circus. Rex Ryan bringing in that extra distraction. Mark Sanchez can't get it done. I'm telling you, this team that went to back-to-back AFC championship games, 2 seasons ago now?
Yes.
Not the same team, ready to implode. If I'm Woody Johnson, the Jets owner, I'm ready to hit that reset button.
Well, you know what? Tebow, all he does is win. He don't commit no sin. So put the guy under center. Let's see what he can do.
Ooh, Tebow time up in the Big Apple.
Well, what else are they going to do? They just lost 28-7 to the Seahawks. The Seahawks are decent, but, what have they scored? Like 4 touchdowns in like 82 years now?
Right.
It's bad.
They're hurting. Okay, so that's the football segment. We're going to switch gears here. You know what?
Yes.
Said at the top of the show, Survivor Series coming up this weekend. Very much
I'm
looking
elated.
forward to it. I really am curious to see what they do on Monday Night Raw tonight as far as the final member of Team Foley. Could it be Jerry the King Lawler?
Well, I think if they do that, they'll leave him a mystery man, and he'll just come out during the pay-per-view.
Well,
I don't think they'll announce it on Raw.
regardless, he's going to make his return tonight. He's coming back to the broadcast booth.
I thought that was after the pay-per-view.
I thought so as well, but
No?
I stand
Okay.
corrected.
All right.
It is tonight. Jim Ross will be there to greet him. And also on a WWE announcing note, just a quick throwaway, JBL re-signed with WWE, coming back as a full-time announcer. So welcome back, JBL.
I'm glad he's an announcer. I couldn't stand watching him as a wrestler.
Well, he's a hell of an announcer, man. I
He is. I
aspire to
agree.
be something like JBL.
I would concur.
I got to
with
get
that.
a cowboy hat though. But back
You
on,
need the limo with the horns in the front.
that would
That's
be
pretty
cool.
freaking cool.
That is cool. I actually need his financial knowledge too.
And his money.
Dude, for real. So here's the question. Kind of a fun segment we wanted to start the week with. What WWE wrestlers are in need of some rebranding, some repackaging, hitting the proverbial reset button? Guys that, for whatever reason, their character isn't being used properly, they're not getting over, or maybe they're not being used at all. Who should creative take off of TV, give them a little bit of time to, rest up, let the fans forget, come back in a month or two, completely rebrandished? Who's your guy?
Well, yeah, you'll go second because I was actually going to do your guy, and you said, "Hey, don't take my bit." So I'll go ahead and do my guy.
Quoted verbatim, folks.
Yes. I'm going to go with Brodus Clay. The guy is popular. He's got a fun song. He's actually fairly successful with the bit that he does. I just think it's ridiculous. I mean, he's the Funkasaurus. They got the Funkadactyls. He comes out to a disco ball. Better Call Your Mama. I actually do like that song. and he's in the ring dancing with an imaginary child. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's a bit that's going to make him the Intercontinental Champion, U.S. title holder, maybe a tag team champion at best. You cannot take this man seriously, and a man of that size and girth should be a World Heavyweight Championship contender. He's fairly new, so it shouldn't be too long. And if he had, and I struggle with this because I actually have fun watching him. I can't take him serious.
Right.
You're dancing with invisible kids. This is not the cartoon era of the 80s and early 90s of wrestling. People don't want to watch that stuff.
And let's not forget, it wasn't more than a few weeks ago, Vince McMahon himself came out in the ring and
Interrupted
poked
him.
fun at him.
Basically kicked him out of the
Yeah,
ring.
exactly.
I'm just saying, I actually do like it. I actually do think it's fun, but you're never going to be taken serious. You're never going to be a top dog. You are a big, girthy man. When he came out as the Funkasaurus, I was absolutely shocked. Actually, a fan sent me the video on my Facebook. He's like, "What do you think of Brodus Clay coming out?" And I'm like, "I haven't had a chance to see it." He's like, "Check it out." And I was like, I literally just sat there and stared at the screen like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But it's like Zack Ryder. It's ridiculous and over the top, so it's fun to watch, but he will never be a top dog because you can't take something like that serious. He doesn't have to be a big angry guy. Like some of the bigger guys back in the one guy Tugboat or something like that.
Woo woo. May he rest in peace.
He was a big angry guy. You don't have to do that, but you need to be serious. He just needs a little revamping, a little more serious, a little less cartoonish, a little less dancing with invisible children stylish. Your turn.
Okay, well, my guy is.
What do you think? What do you think of what I had to say? Do you think I'm ridiculous? Or what do you think?
I think that, you know what, when I think of Brodus Clay, for whatever reason, and I have no idea what the guy's background is, I haven't Googled him, but I just kind of get this vibe of like a New York kind of just ass kicker, just like a
exactly.
big guy,
Yes.
that you don't want to mess with.
Like JBL used to be when he was in that bar room. He was in
the Acolyte Protection Agency with Ron Simmons.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's who he should be like.
Just a guy that comes out, and if you mess with him, he's going to give you the business, and he's going to give it to you, and he's going to whoop your ass. Excuse my language.
Exactly. That's who I thought he was going to be, and I was like so disappointed when he came out as the Funkadactyl.
What the funk is that?
What the funk are you doing?
So, along those same lines, I get the same vibe from Tensai. Matt Bloom, formerly Prince Albert, before he went over to Japan, he comes back wildly successful over in Japan. Can't take that away from him. The Tensai character hasn't exactly gotten over. WWE knows this. We're not exactly poking fun at anybody here. We're just
We
stating
kind of
facts.
are a little.
Well,
The white Japanese guy.
well, if he comes after us, I'm sticking you in front. You're going to have to, give him the business.
Dude,
from me.
I got a bad knee. I'm using you as a baseball bat.
Well, I don't
Just
know how
saying.
much I like that. I might call out sick that day. But here's a guy that I don't think that he needs this Japanese gimmick. I don't
Nope.
think he needs to revert back to Albert either. I think he could wrestle under his given name, Matt Bloom, and much like I just described with Brodus Clay, he could just be that guy that comes out to the ring, handles business, gets all up in everybody's business. He just wants to. He's not a heel. He's not a face. He's kind of one of those tweener guys, and he just comes out and he dominates. That's what I envision with Tensai, Bloom, Albert. Give him a name. Bottom line, simplify this guy. Hit the reset button. He comes back more popular than ever, and the crowd will get into it.
I do disagree with you on one thing.
What's that?
I think if you give him a third name, it's going to turn people off because it's going to be like, well, now who is this guy? Like, is he Albert? Is he the white Japanese guy? Is he Matt Bloom? I don't think you can change his name again. I think if you go back to Albert, because people chant Albert when he's out there, which is rarely anymore. And it's like, if you go back to that, I think people would appreciate and like that better. I think he should go back to Albert and then be the rear end destroyer.
But still simplify that character.
Absolutely.
He's just Albert. He's
I
just
mean,
a guy.
the white Japanese thing is just horrible.
My question, though, are those tattoos on his face permanent? Because if they are, that's going to completely negate everything we've just discussed here.
Well, maybe what he could do is he could do a full turn. I hate these tattoos and I'm stuck with them, and all of a sudden he just goes anti-Japanese, and maybe he becomes the pro-American dude or something like that. I don't know if that would work with Japanese tattoos. I'm just saying it's got to be better than Lord Tensai.
Adam Carricker bringing back World War II on WWE television.
I didn't even think of that. I'm not old enough to realize what I'm saying, folks. Whoops.
Well, no,
Actually, I think of Duggan coming out with the flag. Oh, that's kind of what I think of.
patriotic, given
Yeah.
though it's Veterans Day.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I tell you what, I want to get some listener involvement here. Tweet us at Fourth and Pain, or leave a comment on fourthandpain.com, or heck, even on our Facebook page. Let us know, who are some of the guys that you think could use a little repackaging, a little bit of rebranding on WWE. Let us know who they are, what you would do to freshen up their character. We like it enough. Heck, we're going to talk about it on the air, but either way, you're guaranteed to get a response on Twitter. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's a
I
little
know.
Brodus Clay.
I've got little kids.
That's a,
Barney.
for shame. This is
I
a single
love
man.
you,
That's what the.
you love me.
All right. On that
Punch
note,
me in the face, I'll be happy.
okay. Well, we're
I'm just
going
in
to
a
try to
singing
have
mood
some
tonight.
sort of some sort of semblance of professionalism here, and I
I'm sorry.
guarantee he is not drinking. But anyway, on that note, you know what? Monday edition, fresh out of time. Lots to discuss tomorrow. College football bonanza. We're going to make our bowl predictions, where the top BCS games are going to shake out, who's going where, and as I tweeted you over the weekend, you and I, we may have a little fun with the Rose Bowl.
Basically, Notre Dame's going to get destroyed.
Shh, don't let the cat out of the bag.
Their slow, anemic offense and general horrificness is going to be exposed.
You're absolutely wrong, but we're going to talk about why Notre Dame is greater than Nebraska
Which is not true.
on tomorrow's Fourth and Pain. So
Incorrect.
on that note, thank you so very much for believing in our weirdness.
You going to say your name?
I'm Chuck Carroll, and I'm right always.
I'm Adam Carricker. I'm right always. Largest arms on the D-line. Peace out, Fourth and Painters.